the sedentary lifestyle in children between 5 and 10 years of age at the Diocesan Popular Educational Institution in Tosquebrada, Risaralda, 2022. Authors, Juliana Idarraga Fajardo, Juan Camilo Peláez Arias, and Gabriela González Castro. Academic advisors, Angélica María Blanco Vanegas and Jonathan González Santamaría, to the Fundación Universitaria del Área Andina, Pereira Risaralda, 2022. Problem strengthening. What is the level of sedentary lifestyle in children with between 5 and 10 years of age of the Diocesan Popular Educational Institution, Tosquebrada, 2022? Initially, we will talk about the definition of physical activity as the main factor when it is absent to the sedentary lifestyle. According to the WHO World Health Organization, physical activity is an body-line movement produced by skeletal muscles in which there is expenditure of energy. A sedentary lifestyle is a lifestyle characterized by lack of physical activity, which can cause heart, lungs, muscles, and cardiovascular diseases. Therefore, sedentary lifestyles represent an epidemic that is related to everyone's health problems. We are referred to children, youth, and adults. For each child, the discovery of every month leads to the learning of increasingly complex skills called psychomotor development. In data collection, we took information that coincides with some research carried of between 2014 and 2016 in Latin America by Igor Cigarroa and Carla Zarki in Kine, in Colombia by the Universidad Javeriana, and in Tosquebrada, Risaralda by the Technological University of Pereira. Research the conclusion that the main factors that develop and sedentary lifestyle are change in physical activity habits, academic pressures, and lack of time indication of physical activity in institutions. According to the WHO, at least 60% of the world population does not perform the necessary physical activity to obtain health benefits, and childhood obesity is considered of the problem of 21st century, since more 42 million children are currently overweight of offset worldwide. In Colombia, the figure of excess weight in child population and increased. In 2010, according to the National Survey of the Nutritional Situation in Colombia, 18% of children between 5 and 9 years old were overweight. In Tosquebrada, Risaralda, according to figures from the Ministry of Health, through the 2008 Nutritional Status Survey, it was indicated that excess weight had an increase going from 9% in 2014 to 15% in 2008.
Justification. Levels of physical inactivity are high throughout the world, leading to more communicably disease association with sedentary lifestyle, cardiovascular disease, for example, heart attacks of strokes, cancer, chronic respiratory, and diabetes. By one of the biggest public health problems worldwide, ranking 4 is deaths. Sedentary people have between 20% and 30% in mortality compared to active people. According to United Nations Children, the urban environment limits the practice of exercise. Adding technology progress promotes the lifestyle and people have adopted. in which is in worth highlighting the change that people have that the the 20th century and 8th century for their enhanced energy and currently 5%. In Colombia, the majority of children attend public education institutions, and in which they only receive 2 hours of physical activity weekly. When what is stipulated by wow 7 hours a week. The activity in non-sedentary lifestyle should be inculcated from an early age. Since and people grow on older is the very difficult to change habits. Hailing that is the positive impacts of physical mental health on the family nucleation and on the environment academic and social. Theoretical fragment work. Physical activity is as an essential element in establishing an ideal health situation. Innate physical activity in children is lifestyle that will must preserve, promote and strict, especially in the time in which sedentary lifestyle is more favored. It is necessary to design and implement programs and actions that influence the reduction of sedentary lifestyle. In this way, it will possible to achieve an impact on the reduction morbidity and mortality of the disease and sedentary lifestyle encompassed. They are non-communicable diseases and occur more frequently association with sedentary lifestyle and the ease of how physical activity can be treatment for people. On the cardiovascular level, physical inactivity is association with diseases such as arterial hypertension, cerebrovascular accidents, and heart disease. Various investigation have shown that the controlled price of physical exercise lowers socialite and diastolic pressure of sedentary people. Thus, physical activity is an effective treatment to combat ischemic heart disease on both men and women. And diabetes is one of the aspects affected by secondary lifestyle. For example, 91% of two diabetes cause can be prevented by adopting a lifestyle of regular physical activity.
Objectives. Characterization of the population under study. Second, estimate the level of sedentary lifestyle in applying the INTA questionnaire in children between 5 and 10 years of the diocesan popular educational institutions. And three, this dissemination of the information for the population of the interest.
Uh, Materials and methods. Quantitative research in which probabilistic sampling was used, peer tests of clarity and comprehensibility of the question to be asked in children were carried out. A round method was used. In each question, we will divide the group into the first group being children from 5 to 8 years old and the other, children from 8 to 10 years old. Having this group, we will select 200 children. The instrument with which we will determine the level of sedentary lifestyle of the children of the diocesan popular educational institution of the year 2022 instrument and in questionnaire this is intended to assess a child of adolescent issue PA during the week, Monday through Friday weekend. Activities are not considered to be very irregular except sport activities. The questionnaire contains five categories: one daily or lying down, two daily or off-sitting activities, three number of block well daily, four daily hours of outdoor recreational games, and five weekly hours of shell exercise or sport. A category has a score from 0 to so that the total score was from 0 to 10. Um, the study the study population was initially made up of approximately 600 children from the El Nombre Diocesan of 2022, selecting children and random. A total of 200 records were obtained that made up the study population, of which 63.2% were men and the remaining 36.8% were women, with an average age of 10 years. 5.3% of children travel by bus, 13.8% by car or motorcycle, and 19.9% walk to school, with an average of 5 minutes to an or more. 35.8% of children take 30 minutes to go home from school, 13.3% 15 minutes, 17.4% and or more, and 13.4% take 5 minutes. The majority of the population study live near parks, 72.6%, while 27.4% do not.